Welcome everyone to this week's review, and I'm doing another comic. I don't know what you want to call these, but anyways, this is Carnage World Tour. It's volume 2, which includes issues 6 through 10. So I didn't get the first ones, 1 through 5, because I couldn't find it. I don't know what this is called. I don't know if it's like a graphic novel or if it's a compilation. Because I know what they do, from what I understand, is after a few issues of a comic are released, they compile them into these kind of things. So like people like me who are not going issue by issue but kind of late to the party, oh, here's 5 issues in one kind of thing. So I don't know what this is called. Anyway, let's just say it's a volume of comics, which that's exactly what it is, but I don't know if there's another word for it. So this is 6 through 10. It's called World Tour. It's Carnage. There's the cover art. I actually wanted to give the credits here. So the writer, I can't see very well, sorry. Jerry Conway, Mike Perkins is the artist, and Andy Troy is the color artist. And they did a great job. Like, look at that inside cover art. So, briefly, what is it about? So Carnage is a Spider-Man villain. For those of you who don't know, originally, so there's this alien organism, not to get too complicated, called the symbiote, and what it does, or they do, or whatever, is they kind of live symbiote through with a vessel, and in the cases that I know is human. So the first incarnation of that is Venom with Eddie Brock. Technically it was the Spider-Man suit, but I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, Eddie Brock was the first kind of human symbiote with Venom. They became Venom. Then Cletus Kasady comes into the picture later on, and the symbiote from Venom, I guess part of it or something, merges onto Cletus Kasady to become Carnage. The problem with Cletus Kasady is, as a human already, normally he's a serial killer. He's a deranged, like, psychopathic, wants to kill everybody, wants chaos kind of thing. And then he has this dangerous alien organism merging with him, just kind of amplifying this whatever you want to call it, like this urge to kill. In this book specifically, or in these ones specifically, what happens is it carries on from the first 5 issues, and I don't feel like I missed much because right where I picked up is good enough for me, right? He finds this book called the Darkhold, if I'm not mistaken, Carnage, and he is trying to make it work, and it doesn't work for some reason. Like he's trying to do a spell, or whatever, like let's call it a spell, which allows him to make copies of himself. And every time he tries it on people, it's not working. He meets this girl on a boat. Her name is Jubilee or something like that. I keep saying Jubilee, but that's not even the same character, not even close. Hers Jubilee or Jubilee, I don't know how to pronounce it. And she saves him because he's, as a human, she doesn't know who he is or anything, right? And then anyway, long story short, he attacks her and tries to do the spell on her, and it doesn't work. But it affects her differently than the other people it doesn't work on. She then blows up the ship, the boat, whatever you want to call it, and escapes. And then this anti-carnage crew comes in, kind of saves her. And then you kind of get this backstory that's happening as to how this group formed, which consists of Eddie Brock, who for some reason is no longer known as Venom. He's known as Toxin. I don't know the story, forgive me. But yeah, so long story short, I say this every time, Carnage is trying to activate this darkhold book. He's trying to find an altar, which is in Indonesia, to work his magic. But the plot thickens because actually this evil god, I don't know how to pronounce it, Chthon or something like that, actually wrote this Darkhold book. And if anything, Carnage is kind of like a pawn in this whole thing, because really it's going to release some kind of chaos way far beyond Carnage's comprehension. Anyway, so that's the kind of the plot in the nutshell. I don't want to spoil anything. But what I really liked is the tone. Like, Carnage is like this, like, sick, psychotic being. Like, he's almost like, it's like a joke for him. I don't want to say the Joker, it's not the same. He's very violent. This book can get violent. His one of his powers is like he can form blades and axes and things from just like the gooey matter of the symbiote. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, and yeah, Spider-Man's not in it at all. This is about Carnage and the people trying to stop Carnage. One of them being Eddie Brock and others. Not to spoil anything. Again, on the artwork, fantastic. Like, I don't know. Like, look at that. I love when the quality of the artwork is like as good throughout. It doesn't like slack at any point. Some comic books have this really cool like cover. I've said this before. It has really cool cover art, and then you open it up and it's not like it's bad, but it's just not like, look how polished it is. That's the cover by chance. It's the same one. And I really enjoy that. It makes me, it compels me to keep reading. It's just the feel of it, like the glossiness of these publications. I don't even know who does these ones, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'm scared to even turn pages in a good way, because it's like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to crease it. Like, it's just so sleek, I guess. Yeah, other than that, I'm not, how do I explain this? I'm not well versed in all the Marvel lore as of recently. Like, I only know mainly any superhero related stuff. My knowledge is derived from the cartoons back in when I was like younger in the 90s and things like that, and whatever iterations have shown through movies. So I'm trying to learn as I'm going with the comic books, but it's going to take me some time. And I also, a friend of mine lent me a lot of individual issues of old comic books, which I will review in a different fashion. But when it comes to these, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to review these as their own thing, and probably graphic novels as well. That being said, check out Carnage World Tour. I hope I can get my hands on the first volume of this, whatever it's called. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. I got a bunch more reviews coming up, so please subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about the books that I'm going to read, if you want to hear the reviews that I have to say, and please suggest books. I'm open to suggestions, and that's all. Take care, everyone. Have a great week, and see you guys next time.